Hello there everyone, welcome to this brief episode of F1 Lift the Lid, going over the Suzuka Qualifying session and some of the highlights from that and some of the stories coming out of Formula 1 over the last couple of days. I have not stolen something. I'm not running from the police. I am just riding my motorbike in the night this evening. We have a few stories coming out of qualifying in Suzuka. Obviously, Verstappen put it on pole yet again, looking like he's still online to be able to win the Formula 1 World Championship this weekend. If he does indeed win the race and gets the fastest lap, it doesn't matter where Charles Leclerc comes, he will be crowned champion for this season. However, in my opinion, I think he should have got a grid place penalty for his infringement on Lando Norris. During qualifying on one of the out laps, Verstappen was going really slow on the racing line, and Lando Norris was trying to overtake him at speed, which he was entitled to do. But as Lando was going to overtake him, Max put down the power a little bit and swerved the car because his tyres were still cold, and the car swerved and almost caused a massive accident if it wasn't for Lando's quick kind of alertness really to what the situation was, and a quick reaction time. Flying onto the grass, there could have been a horrific accident there. So I think even though nothing happened, I don't believe it was intentional. But it could have caused a massive accident, and people haven't gone away with that kind of stuff in the past quite as easily. With only just a reprimand is what Max Verstappen walked away with there. So I really think something more really should have happened in that situation, because of how deadly that could have been for both drivers involved. We have seen, obviously Max has been put on pole, but some of the people who still managed to get into the top 10, we've had Sebastian Vettel managed to get into the top 10 again with the Aston Martin. He sounded really sad though on the radio message after he completed his final quali lap in Suzuka. Obviously it was his favourite track. He explained that in the car. He's actually said this weekend that if any team needed a driver for the Suzuka weekend at any point, he would happily step back into an F1 car just for that. So it was quite sad to hear that message from Seb, but obviously he has decided to retire at the end of the season. We've had some big news with Nick de Vries actually being signed. Obviously, I was thinking, and same with everyone else, he was going to be going to Williams, but he's actually been signed by AlphaTauri at the same time as Pierre Gasly moving on to Alpine, which was something that seemed to be in the works for a little while. So now that has taken place. It's kind of surprising because Nick de Vries was a Mercedes driver. He's now going to essentially a Red Bull team. But obviously that deal was being made, and maybe it was getting a little better deal out of it. AlphaTauri are generally performing better overall than Williams, and maybe he thought the career prospects potentially with it going through the Red Bull career pathway, maybe he's better off at this point in his career. So obviously that deal has been done. Daniel Ricciardo mentioning in an interview this weekend that he doesn't think he's going to be on the Formula 1 grid next season, which, to be honest, it does look pretty slim pickings at the minute. And literally, I believe there's, from off the top of my head, I believe there's only the Williams seat that's still left. So it does look like that, unfortunately. He was out in Q2, unfortunately, but he did have a few good laps in him. But it'll be interesting to see what Daniel Ricciardo can do at the actual Grand Prix tomorrow. 6 a.m. start tomorrow for Suzuka. I'll see if I can get up. If not, I'll catch you next week with an update. Thanks a lot.